And it's like, I teach my kids this all the time, is like, I'm actually concerned for the next generation because they're not learning to stay with one thing and find the power that comes when you're really putting all of your attention on what you're doing while you're doing it. And there's tremendous power, like personal strength and power in that kind of focus and taking something to a done, whatever it is, whether it's performing a piece of music or reading a book or writing a letter or doing your to-do list or painting, whatever it is that's productive, that moves the needle on your enhancement or the people around you, improves your survival ability, whatever it is. If it's all diluted because of dispersal, it takes the power away.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. This is MILF Podcast, the show where we talk about motherhood, entrepreneurship, sexuality, and everything in between. I'm Jennifer Tracy, your host. So excited to be talking to you guys on this crisp November day. Very excited to introduce our guest today. But before I do that, I wanted to mention the Global Alliance for Maternal Mental Health, which is the organization that I've chosen to highlight this month. You can get to their website on my giving page on milfpodcast.com, or you can go to their website directly, globalalliancematernalmentalhealth.org. It's a mouthful, but what they do is amazing. They are a coalition of international organizations committed to improving the mental health and well-being of women and their children in pregnancy and the first postnatal year throughout the world. Maternal depression is a huge problem. It's the most common serious health complication of maternity. Unfortunately, at the moment, even here in the United States, but especially in, low-income countries, it's not being supported. The research is being neglected. The investment in services is being neglected. So this coalition of organizations is really committed to stopping that. So they're awesome. Check them out. You can become a member. You can spread the word. They have resources for you if you are suffering from postpartum mental health issues. They have real life stories to watch. They have videos of women all over the world who have dealt with this, and just the most important thing I can say to anyone who's struggling with this or has struggled with it is that you are not alone. I know myself from dealing with it personally that it is very lonely, and it feels like you're the only person, the only mom that's ever experienced this. Even if you've heard of other moms feeling it, it's like, oh no, that can't be me, or something else is wrong with me. It can't be that. I must just be defective, because that's part of what, these mental health issues make us think, in my experience, and in my listening to other moms talk about it. So reach out to one of these organizations, reach out to me. I'm always available for that. I'm always available to you guys. It's just so important, and it's so precious, and we need to raise more and more and more awareness to this, because it's something that is, even now still, it's just neglected, and we need more resources and more education about it. So that is that. My guest today is she's just such a powerhouse. I love this woman so much. She came into my home and I was very starstruck. She is my height exactly. And she's just absolutely gorgeous and radiant and humble and funny. And she has won a Golden Globe. She's been nominated for 3 Primetime Emmy Awards, among so many other awards. I mean, there's too many to list. She's currently, in her long resume, she's currently right now working on Fear the Walking Dead, which is a sensational show on AMC, along with raising 2 children and having a husband and doing all the other life stuff. So I want to welcome Jenna Elfman to the show. It was such a pleasure to interview her. She is just a delight, brilliant, and I just was so privileged to get to spend the hour with her talking on my couch. And here you go. Here's my interview with Jenna Elfman. Hi, Jenna.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This is so awesome.
You have such a silky, pretty voice, and I have such I don't know.
Let's see. There's so much to talk about. And just before you came, I was literally powering through season 4, episode 3, which is your debut into this. So I was literally watching you fall in a tank,
Oil.
a well. What was it? An oil?
Oil tank. Yeah.
Oh my God. How many days did it take you to shoot that?
It was a couple days because we shot the exterior of it on top when I fall in and like land on some pads with the stunt guys, you know, waiting to catch me. And that was at one location. And then we were on the stages for the interior when I actually you see the inside. And that was, I think it was like maybe two days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good. And all I could think was, because this is how my brain works, I was like, oh, it's kind of like early motherhood when you kind of wake up and there's like all these beings like needing you and wanting you and pawing you, but you don't stab them in the head. So I was thinking that reminded me of early motherhood. But also when I was researching you the last couple of days, I learned that you're a dancer.
Yeah, I was a professional classically trained dancer.
Classically trained, and that's how you started your career in entertainment, correct?
Mm-hmm. I was a ballerina. I studied at West Side Ballet here in Los Angeles, and then I would go for the summer programs on full scholarship to Pacific Northwest Ballet in Seattle, which is where all the girls from New York City Ballet would go for summer program. Well, not all, but a lot of them would go for summer. And I was about to go into a company, but had this injury that was recurring in various forms, and I just went, if my career is going to be like icing an ankle, that's not a career. And so I segued out of ballet and went into dancing for TV and film, and danced on the Academy Awards and in films and music videos, and traveled and on tour with rock bands dancing and all kinds of random forms of dancing
one of which
professionally.
was, I read that you were one of the ZZ Top girls. Is that
I was on tour in 1994 for like 2 months. That was interesting. That was a big change from the ballet studio, dancing with like, Balanchine style. Yeah. That was very different. And I was supposed to be like an 11-month tour, and I just gotten engaged to my husband. So it only lasted 2 months. Yeah. It was not quite the right lifestyle for me. I didn't know what to expect, but I came to learn quickly what was involved, and it was just not my scene. Yeah. But it was definitely a cool experience because I love ZZ Top. I love their music. So it was fun, but not for me.
Yeah. And then
I segued into acting. Yeah.
And then from there, it just like went off.
Yeah. I was like it was like a good couple years of training and struggling, and couldn't get an agent. But the second I got an agent, that was it. Like, it was guest star pilot, series regular, show being developed for me. Like, it was a quick route once I finally did get an agent, which was not easy.
Yes. No, it never is. And everybody has this concept of that, of like, oh, it's just, you just go to LA and you just audition a few times. And I remember when I first moved here, in 98, I was at the Sofitel Hotel when it used to be little French boutique. Mm-hmm. Now it's very modern. And I was waiting at the elevator. Angelina Jolie was standing there, and Gia had just come out, and I was very starstruck. And I introduced myself, which I never usually do. And she said, "Are you an actress?" I was like 22, and I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "I auditioned for hundreds of things. Just don't quit." Wow. And it was so great to hear
cool.
that. It was so cool. I was like, she was so gracious. She stuck her hand out and said, "I'm Angie," and, but just to say that, I'd auditioned for hundreds of things. And, it helped me to just go for it and keep going, to know that. So anyway.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I love hearing stories like that.
I know, me too. Yeah. She was really great. I've always loved her.
Yeah.
So, and I just have to say, I didn't mention this before we hit record, but we also have Claudia Lano in common.
No, I love Claudia.
We love her.
She and I have matching tattoos.
You do?
Yeah, because when we did, I did a show called Accidentally on Purpose. I almost said another show I did with the same A and P in the title. Accidentally on Purpose. And she loves stars. She loves the symbol of stars. Star earrings, star things. And so I said, if we do this pilot, if it gets picked up when we're in New York at the upfronts, let's get matching star tattoos. So we did.
That's so fun. Oh my God, it's beautiful. What's on the bottom of it?
That's my original tattoo from when I was 19. It's an alchemy symbol, which is supposed to be up and to the right, But when I'm on my back with my legs up in the air, it is up and to the right. But it's a symbol for
That is hilarious.
It's a symbol for an element in its pure state before it's been altered or changed into anything else.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. But Claudia's awesome. She's so hilarious.
She's so rad.
Sweet and funny, and
She's so funny.
yeah.
I mean, one of the things she said on the podcast was, she said, kind of my idea about everything when I walk into a situation is, and you'll hear her voice, let's get this over with. So that was the title of her episode.
Let's get this over with.
Yeah.
I get that.
And then her mom came on the show.
Uh-huh.
So it was fun. And I loved that show when it came out because she and I were friends then. And she said, I have this show coming out. And so I tuned in, and it was such a great show. You were so great in it. The whole cast was so great. I loved that.
It was good
show.
cast. Really, John Foster, Lennon Parham. I mean, so many great people. Yeah, it was.
And a great story, and so
It was
relevant.
based on a true story. And
So in this journey of your artistry, you've become a mom, and you have 2 boys. And how old are they now?
9 and 12.
Hands full.
So full. I thought it was. Actually, I was listening to your interview with Catherine Hahn, and I burst out laughing when she said, "Oh my God, they need me more now."
Yes.
And I just, because I really just recently was gobsmacked at the reality, because I was under the impression it was going to get easier.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh my God, they really I'm very, very present with my kids and really hands-on, and really probably overwork myself too much trying to be there for them, and making sure I'm there for them to the point where it's almost self-sacrificial. Because I have this idea where I want them to feel like they have a full-time mom, even though I'm not always around because I film in Texas and I commute. So if I have more than one day off, I fly home for 24 hours. So I'm sometimes traveling twice a week, 3 times a week. And then, fly back to Texas up at 3 a.m., picked up at 4 a.m., 16 hours in extreme conditions, fly home, be with the kids, go back to the airport, fly back, for 7 months. So it's, and this last season, we moved in the middle of it. And so I was only home for 1 day of the move. I did the move and then left and then did press and then back to filming and then back. It was an unprecedented amount of stress.
Yeah. And I saw on your Instagram, I think you did a TBT, and it's this picture of you on set, and you're like, yeah, I remember that. Or maybe it was one of your colleagues that said, this woman powered through a whole day of shooting, even when she had the flu.
Oh, yeah.
You had influenza.
I had the flu. Yeah, no, I definitely had the flu. There's no choice. You don't have a choice. You don't not go to work when you're filming, and, they have these locations, and there's just no choice. There isn't a choice. And it was, that was, and so in all the commuting, I had the flu, and yeah. And I'm still recovering.
Yeah.
And feeling a little nutty sometimes, because just to try to keep my attention on one task so that I can complete tasks when there's such a backlog of tasks from being out of town and the move, and then staying on top of the everyday tasks and planning and organizing the future tasks so that everything runs smoothly for the family before I leave town again. So it's a little daunting, but it's all grounded in expansion and good things. My life is expanding and my kids are doing great, and everything's going well. It's like growing pains, like I mentioned to you. So, but I'm trying not to feel a little bit nutty.
Yeah.
I'm at least getting more sleep now. So that's good.
Well, I was just going to ask you, so what do you do to take care of yourself in between all of this stuff?
This was the other thing that made me laugh out loud when I was listening to Catherine Hahn's interview with you, when she was talking about how much she values being alone. No, it is I actually almost showed my husband the definition of privacy from the Webster's Dictionary, because I wasn't really sure if he knew the definition. I thought maybe we should just clear it up. Why? Why?
I already know what you're going to say.
What the hell, man? Why do they think that you're just at their disposal at any moment of the day, at any time, and they don't need it? If you feel put out by them asking you, or
sorry, you're peeing. Sorry. Can you take care of this? It's
seriously.
No, I'm peeing.
Oh no, I thought he's put it on the schedule to meet with me so we could go over just stuff like, oh, but do you want to go to the Dodger game during these finals? Like, arranging certain things, me giving him some notes on a project he's writing. And it's like, okay, we got that done, right? Okay, good. So I'm going to go take a shower. Now, me taking a shower is like, everybody fuck off.
Yeah.
Yes. I can just actually have my own thought process. Like, and he comes in and, he wants a little action before I go. Then I'm like,
because you're going to be gone.
Oh my God. Like, now I should be grateful. I have, I have a partner. I'm grateful. Like almost 30 years together. I'm grateful. And I'm grateful he still finds me attractive and has never cheated on me. Yes. I think I'm a huge part of the fact that he has not cheated because I keep him very in line. But he's also a really good boy. But yeah, grateful. I'm grateful. But like, leave me the fuck alone. Just give me a moment. So we have a podcast as well, and I rake him over the coals constantly. So I'm not saying anything behind his back that I wouldn't or haven't already said in our podcast to his face. And I think it's a perception they don't have, actually. And so I stopped getting mad at him for it because he was like a child who is being scorned for something they haven't learned yet, But I think he'll never learn. Like, it's not a perception. Like, he can smell, he can taste, he can see, he can hear. But when it comes to my universe, it's not a perception. Doesn't exist.
Yeah, so true.
It's not.
It's so true.
A perception.
It's so true. I mean, I'm amicably divorced. My husband and I are great friends. Like, I feel so fortunate we have the relationship we do. And now when our son is with him, I am like in my little oasis. I mean, I have social time and I do things, but I use that quiet time to like restore myself.
Yeah, I had to go to Palm Springs. I had to like leave the premises. I had to leave the city. I went to Palm Springs for like 36 hours. And I'm not joking. I drive by what are those outlets?
Oh,
on your way back, Cabazon.
I know what you're talking. I don't know how to say it either.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyhow, because I was like, I've always driven by it, so I'm just strolling. It just feels good to like walk and people watch and look at things. And like, I find that very therapeutic to just walk and look and observe the world. That is very, very nice for me. He accidentally texts me, want a hot dog? And I was like, I'm 2 hours away. I don't want a hot dog. Huh? Nah. What? And I was like, that was his way of like trying to find out an ETA. That's what I'm thinking. He's like, no, I actually meant to text story. Sorry, our kid. So then I get home and then he tells me, you're going to hate me. He's like, but I was kind of curious about an ETA and I did the find my phone to see where you were. I'm like, see, I knew you were wandering on an ETA. Like I can perceive it in the universe. Like, can you just not even in your mind? Can you just leave me alone? Like, because just leave me alone. Like, I need that time where no one needs, because I can feel the needs. But they can't. They can't cut the umbilical cord and just leave you the hell alone. It's impossible. I mean, maybe some dudes can, maybe, but I don't know. Maybe that's not the kind of husband I'd want anyway.
I don't know. And even my son is like that too. He's not, I have friends with girls and they're like, oh, she comes home from school and she just goes in her room and reads.
I don't think I'd like that. I'd feel offended. I want my kids to want me, but I want my husband to leave me alone until I want to be with him.
Oh my God, I totally hear you. Yeah, no, my son is very much, Mom, sit with me. Mom, look at this. Mom, watch this. Mom, he's watching The Office now, all 9 seasons for the 3rd time all the way through. So he has the whole thing memorized. It doesn't matter what Dwight or Jim are doing. He's like, Mom, come look. I want you to see this. And
how old is he?
10.
Yeah.
So it's so sweet because he wants to share this experience with me. I get it. Like feel what's funny together, rejoice of, the artistry of this brilliant show. Like I get it. But sometimes I'm like trying to do other things. And I've talked about this on the show before. I have to just stop myself and be like, okay, he's only going to be 10 once. Just let this, whatever it is, like let the pasta boil over or whatever, just go be with him. But it's so hard because I want to get it done.
Yeah, and then you don't want to make him feel like him reaching to you is an annoyance. Totally. Like how offensive is that but at the same time, it's annoying sometimes. And I love my kids. Yes. Like, please, I break my back for my kids because I fucking love them. Yes. I admire them as humans. I enjoy the hell out of them. But like, mama, Mama, hey, Mama, look here. Mama, are you looking? Mama, watch. You ready, Mama? Mama, are you ready? And I'm like, because, sometimes you're daydreaming. Because sometimes you're like, maybe like looking at them and trying to multitask. So you're looking at them with love, but you're not really listening sometimes because you're like trying to maybe get some other things done, like scheduling in your mind while they're kind of talking or wanting you to watch the 950th same move on the trampoline.
Yes.
Oh, FedEx.
Delivery. FedEx.
Delivery.
Yes.
There's
the dogs.
There they are. And so, I get a little like, and I really, really, really am finding I have to put the phone down and just do what I'm doing while I'm doing it. But it's a self-discipline thing. I just have to go, okay, I am actually gonna really be in this moment with him. I'm going to just be with him on this trampoline, and I'm not gonna think about other things, and I'm going to, but then you have to just become even more of a ninja of time management because there's so many things to do. I was thinking about this earlier today. Why do I feel like there's so much more to do than there was 5 years ago? I think it's so much more overwhelmed. And that's all I can think of is the phones.
I really think it's the phones. I haven't figured any of it out yet, but you get, I don't know if you get this on your phone. I get the reports of like my screen time.
Yes.
It's shocking.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's
a vortex.
And then I'm like, well, why do I feel overwhelmed if I'm spending that much time on my phone? I don't know what it is. And then the psychology, I know there's been studies about Instagram, and I love Instagram and I use it, for my business, but what it does to you psychologically. And I don't know, but I feel overwhelmed all the time. I just hired a personal assistant this summer for the first time ever. And I felt very guilty about it. Like, oh, that's not for me or whatever. And I have her 5 hours a week and it's been a game changer. Mm-hmm. And I still feel overwhelmed with all this stuff because it's allowed me for more expansion and more amazing projects and helping more women and doing more stuff. And I go to that place of overwhelm. So I don't know. I'm still working it out where I'm like, okay, how do I
think it lets in so many communications at once.
That's it.
It's like too many. It's like when three people start talking to you at the same time.
Yeah.
And you're just like, whoa. Or like both my kids are like talking to me at the same time.
And someone's texting you and your husband's
calling you.
Yeah,
whoa. Let alone like Instagram messages. And, it's just like, oh my God. I think we're doing it to ourselves.
Yeah.
I think it requires like exponential self-discipline.
Yeah.
To go, okay, like we didn't used to have Instagram. So there was a whole way of operating in life without it. And now it's like business. But I think we have to find times during the day where we do it, like where we return or shut it off, or we do it and then we're done. It's like when you get in bed, you're not going to be doing anything else and everyone's on their phone. So, okay, maybe that's a good time to post anyway, like get in bed. But like it doesn't eat into production time during the day. Like if I'm going to go shopping or do some research on something or go have a meeting, I want my attention, all of my bandwidth to be on the thing I'm doing so that all my personal power is focused on that vector. So then I'm making the most out of the things I'm doing in life. And if I'm like checking Instagram while I'm waiting for the meeting or when I go to the bathroom, it's like dispersing my focus and then I'm diluting my thought process, my goal-making ability, my intention for whatever I'm engaged in real life. And I think we have to sort of do like a reorganize of our habit with it. Not just do it less, but,
just how and when.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I'm so with you. I was at the Hollywood Bowl last night to see Vampire Weekend. Mm-hmm. It was so amazing. I just love going to see live anything. And these guys, this band is incredible. I didn't even realize how amazing they are. I was blown away. And I'm at the Hollywood Bowl. And not to mention just like the pot wafting. Like, I remember I grew up, in the 90s and it was like, I went to Red Rocks. I grew up in Colorado and there was like a few people smoking a joint here and there, but now it's just like everywhere because it's legal. And that was really strong to my senses. And, but everyone had their phones out and they were recording and taking selfies and, and fine. I don't have no judgment about that. But here's what I noticed. I was like, wow, all the people on the stage don't have their phones out because they're busy performing and they can't. Like they're completely focused on giving everything they have. They're bearing their souls in their artistry to thousands of people.
And if you don't, you won't be great.
Exactly.
And you won't make a good living.
Yeah.
And it's like, I teach my kids this all the time, is like, I'm actually concerned for the next generation because they're not learning to stay with one thing and find the power that comes when you're really putting all of your attention on what you're doing while you're doing it. And there's tremendous power, like personal strength and power in that kind of focus and taking something to a done, whatever it is, whether it's performing a piece of music or reading a book or writing a letter or doing your to-do list or painting, whatever it is that's productive, that moves the needle on your enhancement or the people around you's, improves your survival ability, whatever it is. If it's all diluted because of dispersal, it takes the power away. And the world needs, I feel like the world to get better and to keep moving forward requires everyone to be at their like personal best with regard to like focused attention and creativity, whether it's engineering, business, cleaning. I don't care if you're a janitor. Be like the best.
Yeah.
Fucking you know what I mean? Like run that joint and make it amazing where people who come are like, wow, you
Who
can
does this?
Yeah. Like, I mean, you're enhancing the world.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you do, what level or how big or small your sphere of influence is. If your power is focused, it's important and it's needed. Yeah. And I think that there's a generation that's going to look up and go, what? Wait, what? En masse.
Totally.
And realize that they're all like slaves because when they weren't looking, the assholes took over. You know what I mean? Like that's my concern is like they think they're learning about the world because they're quote unquote connected, but they couldn't handle the world if it comes right up in front of their face because that's a different skill set. And anyway, that's my big.
Oh, I love it.
But I really do feel strongly. I have really strict rules with my kids on their phones and electronics. Like I am a not kind person when it comes to enforcing this rule. I'm really, really passionate about that. I really hate it a lot when I see these like 13-year-olds. I'm like, what are you going to do at 22? You've peaked. You've peaked and you were so busy looking at your phone, you can't have a conversation with another human. And that's how you solve problems. That's how you use live communication. And 22, you're just getting started. You're just realizing you don't know shit. Yeah. And there you see these kids at a table, none of them are conversing. None of them are looking at each other. They're, and it's on a via, like they're communicating via something. And they're going to be a bunch of scaredy cats when it comes to actual confrontation, like how to look someone in the eye and communicate and solve a problem using communication. Like you have to have bravery to look another human being in the eye and communicate your truth and be willing to hold your position, receive another person's truth, debate it, communicate, hold,
feel uncomfortable.
Totally.
Yeah.
But know what you would like to say and straighten out your intentions. I mean, those are grown-up things that require like practice. You have to practice it in life. You have to practice communicating with people and being embarrassed and finding out how communication solves things. Like it's an exercise in life. And if you've never, or you don't have, your parents aren't enforcing a self-discipline on that. I just think the parents really... but parents get a little lazy because they don't have to parent because the kid's on electronics and taken care of.
Yeah. And they're tired, myself included. You know, I mean, like I have times where I'm like, oh, okay, fine, just watch TV, but I mean, okay, a couple things. So I just hired this woman to come. She was incredible. She just got certified, I guess, I'm sorry, is this pulling on you? Okay. I didn't realize. She just got certified as a Marie Kondo organizer. So I hired her to come in because my son has so many toys and he's a hoarder. And she spent all weekend helping us clean and organize. And we got rid of 3 cars full of stuff that we just didn't need or want, myself included.
Incredible. I was going to say, by the way, this is my first time to your house, but I walked in and it felt like it had been Marie Kondo. I was like, oh, this is nice and clean. Oh, wow. This is probably, she's cleaned this out. This feels like a good result of a Marie Kondo kind of thing.
You knew it.
I did, because it feels very precise. the things that are here feel like
They're there for a reason.
Yeah. And it feels good as a guest to come into a space like that. And I just started doing it myself and teaching my kids. So sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Not at all. Yeah. So she was so great with him because he already has anxiety about letting things go in a lot of ways, but materially. And she said, this is not about forcing you to get rid of anything, even though he then did because he was empowered to make the choice himself. She said, this is about seeing what you have and organizing it and getting into the feeling of what makes you. Now, this was the most time he'd spent looking at his toys and not a video game, because he's really into video games right now, in a long time. And he had a lot of emotions come up, a lot of discomfort. We sat through it. We worked through it. He cried. He had feelings about like the divorce came up.
Yeah. Because they're symbols.
It was great.
Wow.
I was uncomfortable for me, but I just thought this is part of this. This is really exciting. And then something magical happened. The kids didn't have school on Monday because it was a Jewish holiday. And so he had 2 little boys over, 2 friends from school. This is right after everything had been cleaned. Jenna, these 3 boys were here from, I don't know, noon to 6. They played outside with, they had Nerf guns for part of it. They were playing dress up and, making little forts outside with the patio furniture for 6 hours.
Wow.
And I was just blown away by, this sort of circles around the devices and all these things, and I don't know how much of it was the impact of reorganizing and getting rid of stuff. I think a lot of it was because the clutter just literally made literal cellular physical space for both of us and in our home. They were so happy. And at one point I ordered some pizza and they were sitting outside in the backyard eating pizza and just talking and laughing and talking about movies and talking about girls. And I was sort of peeking through the kitchen window unseen. And I just thought, this is the stuff.
Those are the greatest memories as a parent. You're like, oh God, you're like conversing and living and creating and making meaning with your friends and then making meaning for me because you're winning. And you just feel like, okay, I'm not a total.
I did something right. Yeah. Totally. Or he did. I don't know. But it was such a great feeling. And because I struggle as a parent with the whole devices thing and the video game thing is really hard. And the hardest thing for me is that all the other kids are doing it, right? Which sounds so stupid and like such a cop-out, but all his other friends are playing. And so they want him to like log on and play with them. And so I struggle with that very much. But
I make a rule.
Yeah, tell me.
They're allowed to do it. Like when he's not playing baseball now, but when he was playing baseball, it was Saturday afternoons after baseball. So now it's just Saturdays, unless, because now he's not doing that right now.
Yeah.
So he's allowed on Saturday mornings to wake up and do it until, mid-noon or 11 or something when we start getting out the door and starting our day. So he gets Saturday morning.
That's nice. That's like a treat. That's a special treat.
Yeah. And then on Sunday in the afternoons after we have like a family morning or whatever, before we go do something else, he can do it for a little bit. So it's like on the weekends here and there, he's allowed.
Yeah.
Then never during the week. Like it does not exist during the week, during the school week period. That's it. I don't even let them look at their phones during the week.
So great.
Unless they're calling me for some reason, which is rare because we're always together unless they're,
Yeah.
So, and I'm a dick about it.
That's so great though.
I am an asshole.
I'm a pushover about it.
I'm a pushover about other things. But I love them. I'm generous with my love. We have a lot of humor in the house, but I am a fucking asshole about that. I'm like, get off your fucking phone. Why are you on your phone? What day is it? And what time of day is it? Why are you on your fucking phone? I'm taking away 3 and I take away 3 reward points.
Oh, tell me about the reward point system.
They have a point system. If they do something like, extra great or helpful, like beyond the normal expectation of chores, we call it an Elfman card. And so they get an Elfman card. Like, hey, I without you asking me, I went around and I grabbed all the extra boxes and put them in the recycling. Can I have an Elfman card for them? I'm like, yeah, totally. So if they do something uncool that they know is uncool,
it's deduction.
Got
it.
And they get a warning, unless it's just a blatant rule break, like being on the phone during the week. I don't give a warning.
That's so
There's no warning. I just said, "Oh, you're on your phone. Oh, that's a bummer. You're losing an Elfman card." And I just walk. Okay, I'm putting it down. I said, "It's too late. You know, you're not supposed to do that." I am just ruthless. I don't care. I don't care.
No, it's so good. It's so good because that's how the real world is. There's no warning.
Well, because it's so insidious. It's so easy to just work its way back in that I feel like if I don't keep it black and white on that rule, we're all just going to go into the mud. Like, I will, because I know how insidious it is for me as a grown up.
Yes.
The phones.
Yes.
And they haven't even learned like how to run their life yet, And so I don't want them to be a slave to something before they're still learning about life. I don't want them to be misled about life before they've even learned life. And those phones are just so dangerous, and they don't fucking need to be on their phones. Give me a fucking break. You're 9 and 12. Like, you don't need to be on your phone.
I know.
So I'm unapologetic.
I love that.
Ruthless.
I love that. So now, is your older one about to go in to high school yet? No.
7th.
Oh, 7th. Okay.
Yeah.
So still middle school. Yeah. Mine's starting middle school next year, which still, it's only October, but I'm already just freaking out about that.
I totally understand. I've set it up in a different way for us. So we have a homeschool situation with some teachers and a small group of kids.
Oh, that's so great.
And I travel so much so they can come with me.
Yeah.
Do it that way. He had been in like 3 different schools leading up to this situation. And it just wasn't working for him. He's just was not doing well. And I just went, all right, this was before my youngest, or right when my youngest was still a baby. And I went, you know what? This is hell. Like, this is not good. So we just formed a different situation that was going to work for him.
Yeah.
And I keep hitting the
No,
mic,
don't
sorry.
worry. You're fine.
And it's been really great. And we have our friends, and their kids, and it's in a home. And
that's so great.
Yeah.
I have some friends who do that. I wonder if it's the same. And they love it. They're like, it just really works for us. And, my journey, and I've shared about this on the show, but is that I had my kid in this like really darling, which is how I met Catherine. I had this really darling private school, and I loved it. It's a little cute progressive school. Absolutely not right for my kiddo. Mm-hmm. Not the way he learned, not the way his brain processed. And in 2nd grade, the teachers came, they were just like so gently, like something's up, had him assessed. It turns out he's dyslexic. And so now he goes to this really amazing, crazy expensive school in Encino, but it's been great. It's just been great for him. It's like the way and his confidence is better, and he's met these other boys and they all sort of struggle from similar things. So there's no stigma. There's no like, ew, you're weird, or why can't you read fast? But they all come out the way they come out, and they have their individual needs and their individual ways that they learn. Mm-hmm. And I think most schools, as I'm learning, God, my couch is so pilled. I'm just looking at my Jesus. It's terrible.
Comfy. Comfortable.
It is very lived on. My 2 pets and 1 boy and several boys. We always have people over. Generally, the way that systematic, if that's the right word, education is set up, it doesn't work for most kids.
It's true.
Because it's like,
it really
one
doesn't.
size fits all. How that's not even
that just it goes against all natural law. Like, we're all, we're all different. Like, hello, we all know we're all different. So how could one size fits all? And making children, like, we have a thing where they play in equal amounts of time that they study.
Oh, that's brilliant.
So if they study for 20 minutes, they play for 20 minutes, and then they do the next subject for however long.
Their
and then they
bodies need it.
Yeah, and especially boys.
Yes.
Are rigged very differently than girls. Like, my friends who have girls, the girls will just sit and self-entertain for a really long time. God-smackingly, like, curious long time. Like, how is she still in that one location?
I know.
And my boys have hit like 50 locations in the same amount of time.
Yes.
So I just find educationally to be able to work with that and to use things that interest them in their studies, it turned out my 12-year-old, he's as farsighted as you can get. And we didn't know that. And so, because at the annual pediatrician appointment at that time, they were doing the eye exam. And this is something I really think all parents should really pay attention to, is vision. And really have your kids, when they're starting school, like every year, go
to an actual eye doctor.
Yeah. Or if there's anything that shows up like at all odd on the normal vision exam at the pediatrician,
Yeah.
take him to an ophthalmologist and just have like that kind of exam. Because we were at the pediatrician and doing the, down the hallway, looking at the letters. And he was fine. And then as they started getting smaller, he got so anxious and so antsy. And I just thought, oh, well, he lost interest. That he's getting bored. Maybe he's hungry. Like these things as a mother, you're like, oh, he's like, and he's a boy.
Yeah.
So they don't fucking stick around paying attention that long, you know? And it's like, it's boring. You're looking at letters. Like, what does it even mean to him? You know, he's like, what am I doing? So it's so easy to just like go, oh, he's probably getting hungry. It's that time of day, whatever. And then my mother-in-law happened to, I was out running an errand. She was over one weekend. I came home. She's like, he mentioned that I looked a little blurry. And so I started asking more questions and was putting myself in different positions, close to him, far from him. And I think you should go take him to an ophthalmologist. I was like, and then I hearkened back to the pediatrician appointment and went, now that makes sense because he was getting super uncomfortable and I had just written it off to all these other things. Come to find out, literally, like, I don't think the prescription, you can go any more farsighted. Like, he's as farsighted. So as a child, the world around them is big and kind of dangerous, right? Because they're small. They need our parents. They need their parents. It's security. To have it all be out of focus.
Oh my God, how scary.
Totally.
That's so terrifying.
Exactly. And it explains so much behavior that he had been exhibiting. He would, like at one of the schools, they were like on the soccer field trying to do soccer, and he would almost have a panic attack. And I was like, he's such a friendly kid. He's not scared of other kids. Like, why in these scenarios does he suddenly get super weird? And it's not panic attack. Yeah. It was dangerous to him because it was so many moving bodies that were out of focus. And he would it overwhelmed. So, but then he doesn't know what that is because he doesn't know that he's out of it. So it's like funny little anomalies that then make sense. So, boy, was that amazing when he got his glasses delivered.
Oh, game changer.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. He was like,
oh, yeah.
And he was so excited waiting for his glasses because he got a hint of it at the doctor when they, he was like, oh my God, like this is what the world looks like? Oh my God.
And how old was he then?
I was like 6 and a half.
Oh my God, baby.
Maybe 7. So that's why he had been in a couple schools in the 5, 6, getting to 7. Like we were trying to figure out what was going on.
I know.
So then we'd already had this homeschool scenario and that was working. So we just kept it going and we, got our youngest into the fold and they're winning and doing great. And so it's, people ask how long I plan on doing it. I'm just like, take it 1 year at a time. And my life is constantly changing and shifting and, so yeah. And they can move at their own pace this way too. And not go past things that aren't grasped. It's like if they're having a slower, a little behind in this subject. Oh, he sped up in that subject. We can pay attention to that and help curate that. And luckily I have a life that supports that kind of thing. And I feel very blessed to be able to do that for them. Yes. Because I know that is not a reality for many people at all, for sure.
Same. And I talk about that too. Like I went to the dyslexia convention kind of the year before he went to this new school. So 2 years ago. And I met all these parents. I met all these teachers. I met all these parents. It was incredible. I met doctors. I learned so much about it. I'm very, very privileged that with my ex-husband, we could send him to this very expensive school for language learning kids. There were parents there. I met this mom. She's like, oh, my life is standing in line in government offices, like advocating for my child to get the help he needs in our local public school. Mm-hmm. So I've become
mothers.
Oh, what we do.
Boy, don't fuck with us.
Don't fuck with us.
Seriously.
Yeah. Like she worked full time. And then she would go. I was like,
what an incredible lioness, man. Yeah. I think moms are awesome.
They're the best. That's why I started the MILF podcast.
Yeah, I get it. No, but you do. It takes a village. I feel like, we don't live in a village aspect anymore. Yeah. But I think as human beings are partial to that and needing
we're wired to connect.
Yeah. And hormonally our bodies respond in that way. And, not that we're spiritual beings, but we have, there is also a practical human level of operating that does need that support system. And the busier we get, yes, there's the online communities and it's so helpful, but to sit face to face and hear someone's story, I just think is so beneficial, you know.
There's nothing like it.
No,
there's nothing like it.
And hearing like this podcast is very helpful to just me laughing, me guffawing, listening to Catherine's podcast with you made my day better because I was like, okay, it's not just me. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. It's not just me.
It's like that desire to like find seclusion and reorient your thoughts and your goals. And we move so fast and we are accomplishing these goals, but to like, you have to find time to set new goals, and you can't do it sitting with the like noise of your kids and your husband and the world like impinging upon you. And so much is demanded of us now as women, even more, to be creative and work and have jobs. And it's like you have to, whether it's just taking time to go for a walk for 20 minutes, like just get your body out the door and go do it and have your own thoughts. Like, because you will break. It all breaks apart if you don't. Like, you must.
Yes.
Or just lock the fucking door when you go to the bathroom and just stand there a little longer.
Yeah.
And just whatever you got to do to just get yourself back in order. It's the same thing with date night. It's the, like we make sure that we go up or just grab a coffee together because we were the thing that formed the family. So we're the source of the family. And if the source breaks down, there's no family. Then you can't let yourself get all overworked. I mean, it's just self-discipline, but no one's going to do it for you. Like, no one's going to go, you know what? You go have some time to yourself. Like, maybe once every 6 months, a girlfriend's going to, like, protect you on that one. But, like, you have to just find the time. And it's so worth it.
So worth it.
Because you just get yourself straight again. It's like a car will just break down. It's like you will just break down if you don't just keep yourself enough freed up bandwidth.
Yes.
It's like you become like a spinning rainbow wheel, like loading.
Yes,
loading.
Totally.
Like it just won't function properly.
Well, so you bring up something interesting I wanted to ask you about. You brought up being a woman and being a woman in the arts. How do you feel, because you've been in the business for a long time now, how do you feel the business has changed for women in the last however many years you've been doing it? Have you seen positive change? Are you?
Yeah, I think it's moving in the right direction. I think there's just like a DNA mentality, about women, but I definitely think we've been noisy enough to make a difference. I recently, like let's say maybe 8 years ago, I was negotiating on something. And I told this story at Sundance this year. I was on a panel with Octavia Spencer, and we were talking about that kind of women in the industry. And I was told I couldn't make more than the guy. Straight up. And I said, why? Number one, he hadn't ever done television before and wasn't going to be doing any press.
Are you serious?
And I said,
God. I don't know why I'm shocked. I don't know why I'm even shocked.
No, it's because it's totally appalling. And I like statistically, like I had better statistics on this area. And
not to mention your resume.
Let alone my quote, and my resume and my Golden Globe Award and Emmy nominations.
Hello.
Not boasting about myself, but just about in comparison to the fella.
Facts. The
fella.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, never mind. Bye-bye. Yeah. And they're like, whoa. I said, why do you say this to me? They said, well, it would be awkward on set. I said, for who?
Yeah.
For who?
Yeah.
Like, who is it going to be awkward for? The fella? What are you fucking talking about?
Did they have a response to that question?
Ultimately, I got paid what I was wanting to get paid.
Good
so I made it happen.
Good for you.
Because I don't eat shit on that.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yes.
I've worked my fucking ass off. I'm not going to eat shit. I'm just not. Yeah. I am a very loving person. I'm very patient. I'm very compassionate. I care a lot about human beings, but I'm not going to fucking eat shit because it's going to be awkward on set for some gentleman who's never done television before when I'm going to be away from my kids, busting my ass doing all the press. Yeah. You can go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Yes. Like
it's just not. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just no.
Oh my God, I just fell in love with you on a whole new level. Oh my God, I want all of that on a t-shirt, that entire monologue on a t-shirt. That was so good. Oh,
yeah, it's just not okay. It's just not okay.
Well, and the only way that it stops is when a woman like yourself says no.
Mm-hmm. It's the way any evil only continues because good people don't say no.
Yeah.
That's purely the only reason it continues.
Yeah.
The good people are too scared to confront, too scared to face the difficult conversation, which is what we were talking about earlier, why I'm scared for this next generation, because they have no practice looking another person in the face and going, no.
Yeah.
I don't hate you. I'm not your enemy, but no.
Yeah.
Just no.
Yeah.
So, no.
Yeah.
And you come back to me with another solution.
Yeah.
And until then, I'm just waiting here with my no.
Yeah.
And if you would like it to be different, come back with another proposal and I will sit here waiting patiently with a smile on my face. And, but that's integrity. You know, integrity doesn't have to be hostile. You don't have to be an asshole. You just have to be effective and you straight up. It's just like, no.
Yeah.
I'm not going to let, and I also, like, it's not a good idea to treat me that way.
Yeah.
Because I'm really fucking nice.
Yeah.
And if you're an asshole to nice people, it's not going to be good for your karma. Like, really, it's not going to be good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
To like harm me.
Yeah.
Or think or attempt to harm a good person.
Yeah.
Just, that's not good for you. Like, I'm not going to let you do that.
Yeah.
Like, on behalf of your well-being, I'm not going to let you treat me like shit.
I love that.
I'm just not gonna. It's not going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
So, I wasn't asking for some abhorrent amount of money. It was just like reasonable.
The normal, what you should be getting paid. Yeah.
I mean, it was already like down from my quote. I'm not going to now take less than the lead guy because it's uncomfortable for somebody. Like, no, thank you. Because I know what I bring. I know what a pro I am.
Yeah.
And I know that every dollar spent on me is worthwhile.
Yes.
Because I really bust ass and I'm really fun to work with. And I have a fucking great attitude and I'm really helpful and I promote the show and like people enjoy working with me. And that's my pride.
Yeah.
You know, so it's not like I'm asking for something that's going to not have a proper exchange on it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not asking to be paid a ton so I can do nothing.
Right.
I know I deliver. So I'm telling you, like, you're going to get all of me. Like, I give everything. So if you want all of this, like, you have to exchange properly because it's valuable.
Yes.
So,
oh my God. If there's one gift I could give just a little bit of to every woman in the world, it would be that mentality, just to open up to that mentality, like knowing your worth and just demanding proper due for it, you know, because
like,
we just...
I don't know. It's
so
just,
great.
I know I'm good at what I do and I worked hard and I still study acting. Like I'm still trying to learn and get better every take. I'm trying to be better so that I feel like I'm delivering on what they're paying me for. Like it's important to me, my pride of delivering a good product. It's like, you know, like businesses have surveys, like we fill out this survey on were you pleased with your service or pleased with the product? You know, for me, it's like continuing to be employed by and on projects I desire to do and to have people, I get feedback that they're so happy to be working with me and they're pleased with my work. Like that's my customer service, you know, quality control. And I care about it. I'm not a dick on set. I am not a dick to my coworkers. And I've worked with so many complaining, bitchy, ungrateful actors, which I just cannot wrap my head around. Like, what are you doing? Do you know how many people would
give anything to be here? Yeah.
To be in your shoes. And let's look at the world here. There's so many homeless. There's so many people having the roughest go, man. And you're going to be here
bitching at craft service about like whatever.
Or just whatever. Even if it's valid, like don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Like take some responsibility and be a gentleman or a lady and be graceful and set a really good example on what it means to be a pro. Be benevolent and be effective and make the other guy better. Like your idea might be great. So why don't you make everybody better in a really graceful, cool way? Like, where do you get off being a jerk? Like, I'm just like, no jerk zone. Like, I can't do it. I really don't support it. And I really try to encourage people if they're like having a rough go on set or don't like the writing or like, go make everybody better then. Yeah. Like, but set a good example.
Yeah.
I really, it's a pet peeve of mine. I just don't know where you get off thinking you can be an asshole to hardworking, good people. Like, no.
Yeah.
That's the no thing again.
No again.
And, you know, maybe there's, you know, they have a very good reason why they're unhappy, but I just think you got to take some responsibility for how you execute it.
Yeah.
You know,
well, humility is one of my favorite qualities, and yet it's hard to find sometimes. especially in Hollywood, but just anywhere.
It's so ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, who can I call your mother, please?
Well,
like, who raised
probably
you?
Where it started, honestly.
Like, where did you learn that this is okay to act this way?
Yeah.
Like, and here's the other beef I have. There's no HR in Hollywood.
Yes.
You're on set. There's no HR. You have no one to go to.
God, I never thought of it that way, but you're so right.
Like, who do you go to? I don't want to sit around talking shit about my coworkers. That makes me less.
Yeah.
I don't like how it makes me feel.
Yes.
We do that. People, it's like the default setting because you're trying to get it out of your zone. And so you find yourself like talking about it with your coworkers that are your friends. You're like, what the fuck with the and then now you're being just as bad as they are complaining, and it's just contagious. Yes. It's disgusting. I don't like how it makes me feel. I'm not better when I talk negatively about people. And so I'm like, but who do I go to? I don't want to go to the producers because I don't want to like trouble them.
Right.
I don't want to be something. It's not like a tattletale. I try talking to the person directly, but that doesn't always, they don't change because sometimes
they can't hear you. Yeah.
They're trying to be right.
Yeah.
So I find that really challenging sometimes in Hollywood.
Yeah.
There's no HR.
No HR. I never thought about it that way.
There's no HR in Hollywood.
Jenna, what's next for you?
Season 6 of Fear of the Walking Dead. Yeah. I'm really enjoying my time on it. I just had my birthday. I just turned 48.
Happy birthday.
Thanks. I feel very, very blessed that I am able to play this character who has gone through so much. I love my character. And I got to do so much fun. The things I get to do on this show are so fun. I get to ride horses and do stunts and shoot guns and like do all, it's like I have a romance. I get to be badass. I get to fight. So I'm really enjoying it. I can't believe I'm given this opportunity to play this character, and her evolution is just so rich. And I just feel so lucky. So we go back to Texas. Production starts, I think like in end of November or something. So
soon
I'll be going back on season 6.
So great. So exciting.
Yeah. And just, the kids need more of me than ever. So
you'll be flying back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah. Happily and exhaustedly.
And trying to take a shower by yourself once in a while.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. Never.
So Jenna, we've come to the time in the podcast when I ask you 3 questions that I ask every guest, and then we go into a quick lightning round of questions.
Okay.
What do you think about when you hear the word love?
Oh, I think of the panoply of ways that it manifests.
I love that. Mm-hmm. What was the word you used? The what?
Panoply.
Panoply.
Did I use it right?
I'm sure you did. I've never heard it. What does it mean?
It's like an array of various, like a multitude. That's my understanding. Actually, I'd like to look it up in a dictionary now. I'm very curious.
Yeah, I love that. All the panoply of Western religious. Okay, this is amazing. I love it when people teach me new words because I'm such a word person. That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah.
If you could live anywhere in the world other than where you're living now, where would you live?
Italy.
Ooh, you just went there with your family.
I did. I think I am spiritually Italian.
Yeah.
I love it.
You have some connection, other life connection or something to it.
It's not neurotic. They're just confident. I mean, they have all their human emotions, of course, but there's just culturally, there's a boldness, a confidence. They communicate freely without any. You don't see them like worried about what the other person's going to think about them if they communicate. Like it's like so like. People are so neurotic here.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like, hello, hey, ciao, bella, hey, you're beautiful. Great, yeah, great, all right. What are we doing? Oh, wow, they're animated. They're alive. They celebrate
vivacious.
existence. Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you. Yes, it gave me hope again that we aren't completely losing it because I feel like LA specifically is so insane. But and I'm a native Angelino, so it just feels very weird here in LA these days. And so it just felt good to go somewhere where people are actually expressing how they actually feel.
I love that. Mm-hmm. How do you define serenity?
Privacy. Leave me alone.
Totally. Okay, lightning round. Fireside or oceanside?
Fireside.
Favorite junk food?
There's a lot. I like cheese puffs. Cheesy puffs.
So the puffy kind, not the crunchy kind.
No, I like the crunchy kind too.
Okay, yeah.
I just like crunchy, cheesy, puffy. Either one.
So good.
Doesn't matter.
Do you like theme parks? Me neither. Have you ever worn a unitard?
Oh, totally. Many times. I hosted the Emmys with David Hyde Pierce, and I wore a unitard in our opening comedic dance number.
Yes. Did he as well? Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
They were purple.
Oh, I need to go look that video up. That's incredible.
It's very weird.
I love that stuff. I love it. Daytime sex or nighttime sex?
Nighttime. Well, I do daytime too, but those are usually like kind of a little faster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of times, because at night too, I pass out early. So it just depends.
Yeah.
I think I would prefer nighttime.
Yeah. If energy and time allows. Yes. Shower or bathtub?
Bathtub. I love a bath.
Me too.
I like sweating. I like taking the bath so hot till I'm sweat. And then I just like to go and be a noodle and lay in bed. But I never have that kind of time. But when I do, that's my most favorite thing.
Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how good are you at making lasagna?
0. I don't even think I've ever made lasagna. I don't cook.
Superpower choice: invisibility, ability to fly, or super strength?
Invisibility. Serenity, privacy, leave me alone. Invisibility.
Would you rather have a cat tail or cat ears?
Tail.
Yeah.
The ears are weird.
Yeah.
They got like weird folds in them.
And the tail, you could just take it out when you wanted.
Just stroke it. It's just soft and silky, and yeah. And it shows like mood.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
It's expressive, the tail.
Yeah.
What was the name of your first pet?
Samantha. It was a little blonde mutt. Yeah.
What was the name of the street you grew up on?
Ruffner.
So your poor name,
Yeah.
or your MILF name, is Sammy Ruffner.
It's good, right?
That is amazing. That's one of the best ones I've heard.
I love it.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Jenna, you're a delight. Thank you so
you
much
too.
for
Thank
being
you.
on the
Thanks
show.
for having me. And it's fun talking. And to everyone listening, thanks. And I hope that you have a great day. And I hope you take time for yourself and just respect yourself.
Yeah.
It's okay to respect yourself.
And it's okay to say no.
Totally okay. Yeah. The fuck?
Yeah.
It's like you're right. It's your right to say no. It's okay. You can always change your mind. It's not like the end of the world.
Yes. Thanks, Jenna. Thanks so much for listening, guys. I really hope you enjoyed my conversation with Jenna. Come back next week for a fresh episode of MILF, where I interview Kate Grace Bauer, the Director of Operations for Ashley Longshore Art, all the way in New Orleans. I love you guys. Keep going.